I'm back with another album review. Today's review is on Rage Against the Machine's second album, Evil Empire. Before I start talking about the album, I'm gonna say that I read that the title comes from a speech from 1983 where then US President Ronald Reagan described the Soviet Union as an evil empire. Now let's talk about the album itself. It was recorded between March of 1995 and February of 96 at Cole Rehearsal Studios in Los Angeles. The album was produced by Brendan O'Brien. It was released on April 16th of 96 under Epic Records. One thing I need to mention about Brendan O'Brien is that he has worked with several other bands such as Soundgarden, Audioslave, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Pantera, Korn, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and AC/DC. I read online that this album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. It was even certified 3 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America on May 24th of 2000. So you can clearly tell that this album was very successful. I also read that this album was received very well from critics, and rightfully so. Now to talk about the songs. The album starts with People Love the Sun, which pretty much sets the tone for the album. The song was released as a single on April 22nd of 96. The band's lead singer, Zach De La Rocha, wrote the song in 92 after his visit to Chiapas in southern Mexico. He said that the song is about the Zapatista Revolution. I read online that the Zapatista Army of National Liberation, it's a far-left, libertarian, socialist, political, and militant group that controls a large amount of territory in Chiapas. Now, the next song is called Bulls on Parade. Now, the song was released as a single on February 9th of 96. So that was before the album was released. I read that this song is written in response to over 1,500 bodies being found at the border between the U.S. and Mexico, and that the government was going to build a wall back then. Now, the song is very well known for the guitar solo that Tom Morello does. He did this by toggling between 2 pickups as he rubbed his hands on the strings over the pickups to replicate the sound of someone scratching vinyl records. The next song is called Be It Now. This is the album's 3rd single, and the single was released in October of 97. I read that the line "Coming down like bats" from Stacy Coon is a reference to Sergeant Stacy Coon, who was one of the 4 cops in the LAPD who was filmed beating up Rodney King back in '91. Stacy and Lawrence Powell were the only 2 cops who were convicted after the incident. Tire Me is the only song on this album with a faster pace to it. The song made its live debut at Cal State in Carson, California on April 29th of 94. However, that version actually had slightly different lyrics compared to the album version. Read online that Zach De La Rocha wrote the song just to celebrate the death of Richard Nixon. Although the song won the Grammy for Best Metal Performance in '97, it was never released as a single. Down Rodeo is what comes next. The song was released as a single on November 16th of '96. However, it was never released commercially. Instead, it was a promotional single that was sent to various radio stations across America. Where the song is about social inequality between the rich and the poor in America. The song also contains a verse that represents the fantasy of committing or preparing an armed assault along Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, which is well known for being among the wealthiest shopping districts in the world. The album ends with Year of the Boomerang. The song initially appeared in the film and on the soundtrack of Higher Learning in '94. The song was also released as a single on December 17th of '94. Just like with Down Rodeo, the song was never released commercially, and it was only a promotional single sent to radio stations across the country. The title of the song is a reference to John Paul's satirist quote, "It is the moment of the boomerang," which refers to anti-colonial violence in the preface to to Franz Fanon's novel *The Wretched of the Earth* from 1961. The lyrics of the song are about minority representation and inequality, since they contain references to struggles against racism, sexism, and colonialism. Overall, I really enjoyed this album. It may not be as good as Rage Against the Machine's self-titled debut album from 4 years earlier, but it does have a lot of strong messages behind it. It's funny that I've seen this meme about the cool kid in 1996 starter pack, and this album was one of the objects in the picture. And that's all I have to say on this album. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified of future uploads, and leave a comment if you like. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back on Saturday with another review.